All right, you gotta admit, that's pretty cool. Hey everyone, my name's Randy. Welcome to Go Midwest Fishing. Now, if you've watched any of my fishing videos, you know I love my underwater cameras. And you've probably seen me fishing with Reggie.
All right, look at that baby. Reggie's pulling them up one after the other. Not too bad.
Well, Reggie wanted his own underwater camera, but he did not want to spend the $500 I spent on my Aqua-Vu. So he went on to Amazon and found this Mukor, which currently sells for $139. Well, I was curious how it compared to my Aqua-Vu, so we did a comparison video. So that's the Mukor off Amazon, and yeah, it's a good alternative if you don't want to pay $500 for an Aqua-Vu. Our conclusion, we really didn't see a big difference between the two. That's why I was so excited when Mukor reached out to me and said, do you want to try our latest, newest upgraded version of the camera? I was like, does a bear Yes, the answer is yes. I would love to try your camera. The good news is this camera here just went on sale. You buy it on Amazon for, right now it's going for $200. And if you like, check it out for yourself. The link is down below. All right, let's check out the upgrades. All right, now comes in this beautiful little carrying case. It's pretty good quality here. So you open it up and you get your 365-day worry-free warranty there. You get the user manual, and then here's the camera. Probably the biggest feature of this is the screen. Look at that. It is now a 7-inch screen in high definition 1080p. This thing is huge. Now let's compare that to the Aqua-Vu lineup. I currently have the Micro Revolution Pro. They do not make this one anymore. This one was $500 and has, I think resolution is like 480. It's pretty low resolution anyway. But here's the current lineup. Okay, the first comparable Aqua-Vu is the Micro Revolution 5.0 high definition. And this only has a 5-inch screen, but it does have 1080p resolution, but it costs $600. Now the next step up is the AV822. And this one has a big 8-inch screen, 1080p resolution, but this one costs $800. You could buy 4 of these for the price of that one. Next up is battery life. The Micro Revolution on the Aqua-Vu lasts 6 hours. The AV822 lasts up to 9 hours, which is pretty good. But the new upgraded Mukor comes with a 10,000 milliamp battery, which can last up to 20 hours. For me, this is a game changer because I mostly use this thing when I'm ice fishing, and I can spend, at least 8 to 10 hours out on the ice. And my Aqua-Vu usually gives up long before I do. So now I know I can go out there all day long, never have to worry about my camera running out of batteries. And also, it comes with this standard USB-C charger, just kind of like you'd find on your cell phones. And you can actually charge it from an external battery bank and run it while it's charging. Something I tried with my Aqua-Vu here, and it did not work. All right, another neat feature, if we pull this out, we got the camera here. So on the front of it, it's got 4 white lights and 4 LED lights. So you can use it with the lights off in the daytime, and at night, you got the choice between white lights and infrared lights. The Aqua-Vu, you only have the choice of infrared lights. All right, let's turn it on for a second, and I'll show you the menu system. All right, there I am. Hey everyone. All right, the menu system, it's pretty simple. You sit right there, and you got a choice of brightness, contrast, saturation, all the same stuff you'd normally expect. Pretty easy to navigate. You just hit the menu button to switch between the two, left and right arrows to adjust them. And then it also has brightness of the screen. You can push right here for easy, quick access. And if your camera is tilted the wrong way, you actually have a button here. You can flip the camera around so it's facing the right way. That's kind of cool. And then here's your lights. So there's your 4 white lights, 4 LED lights. You shouldn't be able to see that on camera. It's made so fish can't see it. And then you can turn it off. Well, that's interesting. When I changed the angle of the camera, it made the words go backwards. Let me see if, okay, there it is. Look at it. All right, they're back to normal now. All right, so far this thing looks great on paper, but the real test is we got to take it on the lake and see how it does. But before we do that, I just want to show you a couple things on here. So on the back side, you got this spool here. You just unwind the cable by hand. And I think this says it had, I think it said 80 feet of cable. Anyway, it's pretty long. And you got the little plug in the side here. You can unplug it and plug it in so it can connect to the screen. But this whole spool here is just magnetic. It pulls right off. And you got a 1/4 inch adapter here. You can put on a tripod or whatever you want. And the same adapter is on the spool, so you can leave it attached or not. When I fish, I like to put a little tripod on here and set it by my fishing hole so it's easy to see. The one thing I do like about my AquaView a little better is I believe it's a patented system, but this one here has a little winder system on it. So you can wind it up and down, which makes it really easy. And I do like that system. So that's the only thing I think I'll miss on this one here. The other thing I think is a little weird here is it does come with this plastic camera holder, just like the AquaView does right here. This one's a little different. It has 2 little tabs on the bottom. And what they do is they give you these little weights. So they give you these weights here. And I don't know. If you can tell me how to attach these, I'd love to know how. They don't give you any way to actually like connect them on without having to put on split rings or doing something different like that. That's supposed to be one on each side to weight it down to help it fall straight. They didn't really think that one through. And the other thing is, I don't know if there's anything you can really do about this, but the camera here, it just goes in this little slot like that. That's how it stays when you store it. And well, I like to change locations a lot and constantly move. And every time you use this thing, you have to pull this thing out, put it back on the camera, run the wire up. I wish there was a way they made this box where you could just leave it all connected and put it together in here, so I didn't have to constantly undo it and store it in there. You can kind of see in the AquaView here, I just have it off to the side in this box and just throw it in there. It's ready to go. But overall, those are pretty minor issues. I'm kind of excited to see how it looks on the lake. It's only like 30-some degrees out today and kind of windy, so we'll see how this goes. But we're going to head to the lake and see some real-world testing. All right, I got to the lake and it is blowing so hard out here. I don't think I'll be able to take the canoe out there, but there is a dock over there. I think I'll go over there and we'll put the cameras in off the end of the dock. Okay, I got both cameras set up right at the edge of the dock. They're both down the same depth and facing the same direction. Let's take a look at what it looks like. So first of all, they both got this little sunshade here. It is in the middle. It's like noon right now. Sun is really bright, high in the sky. So I'm getting a lot of reflection off of these screens here. So I'll do my best to give you a good shot of it here, but right off the bat, I can tell you the AquaView has a little more saturated, richer colors. The Mucor looks a little washed out. It does have good detail and everything, but you can definitely tell this is a little more saturated than this one. I'm guessing that the AquaView just puts a little bit higher end camera on their cameras. And I went to the menu and adjusted the contrast, saturation, stuff like that. So this is about as good as the picture I'm going to get. We're only about 2 feet down, so you know, it's getting a lot of sunlight here, and we're looking underneath the dock, so there's a lot of contrast too. So I'll give you a little bit closer view of it. The top things you're seeing are the boards from the dock. And there's the AquaView. Now I'll swing the cameras around a little bit, get a little bit different view on them. So if you face a different direction, it does a little bit in the darker spots there. You can see it comes out a little more colorful. Trying to go slowly here. That's where you can tell the sun's beaming up. You see the bright spot there. And coming back around. All right, do the same thing with the AquaView. Oh, there's the other camera, so right next to each other. And I will say the AquaView does give a little bit better picture. Has a little more saturation, more contrast on it, I think. This picture does look a little washed out. I was seeing some bluegills under here when I first put it down, so there are some fish under here. Well, there's what it looks like. I am going to see the sun's up there. Maybe we'll try that into the dock and see if it looks any better. All right, now we're just facing like into the sun here, so hopefully you get a little better view of the screens. Test it out. Looks a little different off this end. You can see it a little better without so much glare. And there you can see the pointer right at the AquaView camera there. I think this is pointing pretty much similar direction. There's the Mucor, and there's the AquaView. A little bit darker over here. Okay, now I put it right above the weeds, and actually you got a little more definition now. You got something to point at here. You see the weeds on the Mucor, and there you're actually, it's too much reflection. I can see the camera from the Mucor. There it is. Let's see if I can't get a, it's kind of a highly reflective screen here, so it's hard to see, but right there's the Mucor camera. Yeah, if I came out here in the evening when it's a little darker, it'd be a little easier to see. But this actually, okay, the Mucor looks a lot better now that I put it down. Let's even drop it down a little further. Probably doesn't look quite as good putting a camera to a camera, but to my naked eye, it actually looks pretty good here. And again, there's the side by side. You see more of my reflection. The AquaView does have a glossier screen, so you can see me in this one, but you look over here, it doesn't reflect quite as much, so it's a little bit easier to see. But again, it's a little more washed out than this one. And check this out. All I do is leave it in there, flip it upside down, shove it down in there. Good. It actually fits in the case without me having to put it on the side of the camera winding reel there. All right, my final thoughts on the new Mucor camera. All the specs, everything. Overall, it's a really great camera. I was a little disappointed in the camera quality. I wish it was a little more richer, fuller colors. The AquaView looked a little nicer of a actual camera, I think. But we'll have to take it out on the ice this winter and go down deep and see what it actually looks like. But for $200, man, I don't think you can beat it. If you want an underwater camera for a decent price, this one is the way to go. Now, I use these cameras all the time when I'm ice fishing. In fact, I hardly use my fish finder anymore because I can just put the camera down and just watch the fish come in. It's really cool because you can see how they interact with your lures. And you know how many times I had my lure down there and seen fish just swim by and completely ignore my bait? It's like I would have never known they were there. Plus, you can tell what kind of fish they are, and it's just fun to watch. It kind of makes fishing a little more interactive. So I'd highly suggest getting one of these underwater cameras, especially for ice fishing. It makes it a lot of fun. If you want to see the side-by-side comparison of your older version with a smaller screen, you can check the video right up here and leave you with some really cool underwater footage. All right, everyone, see you next time.